So what's a movie that you like that nobody's ever heard of?
Okay, so a movie that nobody's ever
We'll
heard
see if
of.
I've heard of it. I don't know. Sorry.
Um, Little Darlings
That sounds familiar,
from the 80s.
but I don't think I've watched it.
I think Matt Dillon is in it, and he's when he's young and cute. He was such a cute teenager. I'm pretty sure it was him. But there's this scene, and my sisters make fun of me to this day for it because I was young, early teenager, watching it, like maybe 13, 14. And there's this scene in the movie where he's with the girl, right? And they're in like this rowboat, like going on a little rowing adventure. And like she's just like all in love with him, and like it like turns and like the camera's on his face and he's just like staring at her, but he smiles really big. And I like this and I'm like, and I just start smiling like he's smiling
Like
at
a
me.
weird shot angle.
Yeah, I was so into it, but I felt like I was in the boat with him and he was just in love with me and smiling at me. So I start smiling back at the damn TV. And my sisters just tear me a new one on it. They think it's hilarious. I'm like, yeah, leave me alone. He smiled at me.
I think there a lot of movies kind of do that a little bit. I know they did it in the You show at some point. There was a scene like that where they close up on his face.
Yeah.
And then like at the end of Psycho when he's caught and he's kind of just smiling at the camera.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But either way, it's about like losing your virginity, like teen movie, like a coming of age story type of thing. Now I want to watch it.
I'll have to look it up so I can watch it.
Or I like a lot of old movies.
I like a lot of old movies too, but I think the ones I like are totally different than yours.
It's because I'm a love junkie. No, yeah, all the movies that I ever watched, like growing up and stuff, and even to this day, are like stupid, like coming of age stories, and of like just like outcast kind of people. Because I just related to them so much. So I always watch things about the underdog. Basically, I watch a lot of indie films.
Okay, so a movie that I like that nobody's probably ever heard of, because it's like a B movie basically. It's called Saturday Morning Mystery.
Oh yeah, I haven't heard of that one.
So it's a horror movie, but it is very, very cheesy.
I love it.
It's so bad that it's good.
Right.
You know? And basically there's sort of like kind of like Scooby-Doo kind of gang, you know, but there's a lot of like, well, not a lot, but I mean there's sex scenes and, you know, things like of that nature. And they're investigating a house that's supposedly haunted. It's so bad. It's so bad. And I found it when I was looking up, I think I was just looking up either like B movies or movies that, you know, are very like cringy, I guess. And that one came up and it has like a cult following of people who just love it. And so, and I like Scooby-Doo stuff. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna buy that to like add in my collection.
Yeah.
And it was like, it was so bad, but it's good.
It's good. Enjoyably bad.
Yes. Oh, it has really good like killing scenes. I guess that's what makes it good.
Is it gory?
Yes.
Okay.
Very gory. But kind of like very quick kind of gory. Kind of like you know, like how like if someone like there's like a movie where someone punches someone but their hand goes through their head.
Right. Okay.
Like that kind of stuff.
Gotcha.
You know, it's very gory. Or like a head getting smashed, but it's also fake. But you know.
Well, yeah.
I don't know why I said that.
Watching a royal head being smashed, I'd be like, I think you need help.
There is a movie that just talking about that just reminded me of I think it's called like Cannibal Holocaust. Yeah. It has nothing to do with Holocaust. Basically, it's a bunch of like travelers. They go to some country. They're kind of film students kind of thing. You know, one of those movies where people travel and something happens.
Yeah.
And yeah, they come across like this tribe and stuff happens. That's really bad. That they all get kind of like tortured and killed. Yeah, and what's kind of surprising and kind of cool about this movie. I wouldn't recommend watching it because it's very, it puts a bad taste in your mouth, I guess, if that's the right saying. Like you kind of like are kind of squeamish, I guess, if you watch it. Because you know all the killing stuff.
Sadistic?
A little, like if you think of a tribe killing people, I mean, what they can do.
Right.
You
Okay.
know, so there was like this thing to where the person who made the movie was actually committed for murder because they couldn't find the people in the film. So they actually
What?
tried him for murder. And so because he had told the people in the film to kind of like hide out for a while, so like people thought it was real, kind of like Blair Witch, like people thought Blair Witch was real.
Okay.
And so he had to like prove to them, like, no, they're not dead, like they're alive.
Oh my God. So people thought it was like a real thing happening.
Because also realistic. So
right. Oh
yeah.
my God. I'm a what? Oh man.
So yeah, watch it.
Oh, I don't know. Whatever you watch, whatever you read, whatever you absorb into your mind, like those things stick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like even as an adult, like minus the kids, it's like when I watch something, like that's in my head now. And like I don't want that kind of stuff. I don't want to like have to rethink about it one day and be like, oh,
Right.
this is
Yeah.
a mistake. I'm just like, no, 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 no.
You shouldn't watch it then.
Yeah, that's a no watch for me. What's it called? So I never watched it.
It's called Cannibal Holocaust.
Okay, I won't. It says cannibal. I would never watch
Cannibal
it.
Holocaust.
Have you seen The Descendants?
Yes, I like those movies.
Not the Disney movies.
No, 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 no.
Okay.
Not the Disney, no. Like the cave ones.
I love those.
The cave ones, right?
They go into the
Yeah.
cave and rock.
I love those movies. Yeah.
Yeah, those were really good. But I remember I saw the first one in theaters, and I kid you not, when I say I'm sensitive, I cry because those little things that live inside the caves or whatever were so terrifying. What year did this come out? Why was I don't know why, but it scared me so bad that I started crying. I was like, this is evil.
It's a very suspenseful movie. So there's a lot of quiet parts. And then
yeah,
and then like big noises, you know?
Yeah. It was just, I don't know if it was like a PTSD thing or what, but I was like, ah. Yeah.
A lot of movies where it's like solitude, like one person in the whole film.
Oh yeah, those make me
feel sense like that. There's like one or two people, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, The Descent's good. So there's two of them, right? I don't know if you watched two. Okay. So I'd come across that there was a third one, right? And I was like, oh, The Descent 3 or something, right? And there's more to the title. And I was like, oh, cool, another one. And I watched it and I was like, this isn't The Descent.
Not it.
I was so mad because I watched the whole thing.
You watched the whole thing.
To be fair, it was based on like a true story, I guess, of like a guy that was stuck in a cave. It's like, I guess it's like a known story. So it is a little sad because it's based on a true story of the guy who died. It was just like I was going into this movie thinking it was like a horror movie.
I like how you watched the whole entire thing though.
Yeah, because like sometimes like something happens right at the end, you know?
Yeah.
It's kind of like Rosemary's Baby, like or Stephen King movies, you know, like you have to watch the whole thing and wait till the end.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, okay, there's gonna be something. Like, but it was kind of like might as well finish it now.
All right, let down.